A 2-0 defeat. Just give me your first impressions of what you like there.
Poor, really poor. Listen, we've slipped off the edge of a cliff at the minute. I think that's 6 without a win. We came into that game 6 games ago, if you like, in really good shape. But right now we've massively come off what we were about. And it's a concern, a real concern for me. And I always look at the worst case scenarios. I'm always looking to be better and better, but we're sleepwalking into trouble if we're not really, really careful. And I voiced that concern a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, we're nowhere near finished yet. I ain't sure 49 is going to be enough, by the way. You look at the results today, excuse me, Redditch got a point, Barwell won, Sudbury won, I think Emma got done at the end, Bishop Stuffer. But listen, look at our own performance. We were so poor today. I think we've had one, I might be wrong, but I think we've had one shot on target. Marvitt, a shot that the keeper's gathered on the second attempt. Some of the chances we're giving up. The second goal, both goals are shocking defended. And listen, I'm not saying anything that I haven't said in there, and I'm not being negative with them, but I have to tell them the truth. I have to tell them. Right now, we look as though we've gone completely off-piste and off-script from what happened from the Bedford game when I walked in the door when we beat them 1-0 here. And it seems an eternity ago, and we got ourselves into a position which I'd asked them to. That was the goal I set them, to try and attack the top end of the table, and we sort of got ourselves into a position to do that. And now we're manufacturing a position where we could find ourselves requiring some points quickly. Well, we do require some. We've got Hitchin here of 2-0 up with 2 minutes to go at Kettering and ended up drawing 2-2. Some effort, by the way. We got Lowestoft last day. We need to start focusing and calibrating a little bit and having a look at where we're at. And obviously my job is to make sure that we do. And we've had a conversation in there, but in the end, people have got to listen. We looked miles off it today, miles off.
And just from your point of view, I know it's difficult, but can you sort of put a finger on why it's sort of going that way at the minute?
Individual mistakes. Listen, look at every goal we've conceded in the last 6 games in this run, and every single one of them's an individual error. And I mean, cataclysmic individual error. It's so poor. One ball bouncing in behind us. That happened on numerous occasions today, but they ended up scoring one. And then just a horrendous individual error for the second one. Okay, we're going for it. I understand that. We are leaving men up and having a gamble. But in the end, you can't do that. You can't do that. And are some of the boys that obviously have been taken off us in terms of Soladimi, Richards, there's a couple of others as well. Then we've got the suspensions, Willock, Sweeney getting sent off. They're hurting us. They're hurting us badly. We've lost some decent players, where people have come and took them off us. We brought young ones in fairness, as a club, we've brought young ones in. And it's a tough playground, step 3, on a rock hard, bobbly pitch. It's a baptism of fire, and there's people that need looking at. You know what I mean? They've been here trained, blah blah blah, and it's like, well, we need to look at it. Yeah, but this is what happens, and we were miles off it. They were. What did they do to hurt us in terms of tactical style of play? Whatever. Smashed it into us. Landed on won the first, landed on the second. It's like just bog standard step 3 football and other steps as well, even step 2 football sometimes. It's, the ball goes forward, you compete, you're big and strong, you're setting up for set pieces. And to a certain extent, when I came in, we weren't scoring goals, and we played off the front, one set play, started scoring from set plays, and now all of a sudden we've got a few in there that are a little bit more lightweight, flaky, if you want to call it. They look flaky today. So I'm really disappointed, obviously, with the result, but massively disappointed with the performance. I think with all due respect, there's some individuals there that ain't done themselves any favours.
And just moving on, obviously you've got the Worcester Senior Cup final on Wednesday before you head to Spalding, so another important couple of games to try and sort of try and build a little bit of momentum just towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I had half an eye. You know, you like to think that you can get enough points on the board, and I'm not naive and I'm not stupid, and I've seen the run we're in, but we've got one or two lads that will obviously come into the game on Wednesday that I was looking after a little bit today. And I had a conversation with them on Thursday at training. You know, I ended up having to use one after about 5 minutes anyway. So there was half an eye on that, but in the end, it's a Worcester Cup final. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to try and win it, and so are Worcester, and that's it. But in the end, we got Spalding, and if they get in the playoffs, which I think they will, I think they'll win them. I think Spalding have got some unbelievable players at this level. And if we rock up there and play like that, we're in serious. You know, we have to work now this week. We're in for the next Monday, Tuesday, obviously pre the Wednesday game, and then we've got that conundrum then with Thursday, Friday. We don't train on Fridays anyway. What sort of work we can do anyway prior to the Spalding game, but they're a good side, and they're as good a side as I've seen here, and that was a game early in my tenure. So you know, but. I mean, I'll take the responsibility for the selection and the players and all that, but in the end, you've got to ask yourself, you know, the heart, the desire, everything we've shown to get to a position that we'd got in previously seems to have gone right out the window at the minute. And I've always said to them, I'll accept defeats sometimes, but if you show me everything, empty yourselves and give me everything, I'll stomach that. But I can't stomach that. We were miles off it in terms of our physicality, really, to play a football match in this division. It was pedestrian, and I've got to look at that seriously now, tonight and tomorrow. In terms, obviously, there'll be some players coming now back into the team for Wednesday. We've got 4. We've got a cup final on Wednesday, and then we've got another 4 for me after that. Another 4 League Cup finals that we need to go and get results in.